This is series 29. And as you can see, it's printed on board because we don't have all the parts available yet, because you are so early coming here and seeing the story. As with every homegrown classic series, as we call them, we focus on having a yellow skin minifigure, non-IP, and we always focus on having as big a variety of themes as possible. So no one will have all of them as their favorite, but everybody will at least have a couple. So first we have the football goalie. Then we have the marching band with a big new tuba. And we have the unicorn elf lady.
Yes.
The Chocolatier. The Bionicle Cosplayer. Yeah! The robot T-Rex.
Well, it's a scuba diver of some sort.
Yeah.
A marine biologist.
That was
Yes.
the word, thank you.
Yes.
Then we have Lloyd from NINJAGO due to anniversary. Then we have the Boba costume. Cute anime witch with a new little cat. We have the trash monster. And we have the monster hunter. We always put a lot of effort into these characters because we have so many series from the past and we don't want to copy ourselves. But with the big team effort, we always, in our view, manage, as well as this year. Some few little facts. We've had a referee and we've had series full of soccer players. So of course we need a goalie. On the back of the head he'll have a shouting face so he can direct the defense. We also have a wonderfully decorated football. The marching band, Tuba Player. Some of you will recognize a tuba that's similar to the old Fabuland tuba, but this one is designed with the minifigures in mind and in gold. Perfect for army building. Then we have the unicorn lady with, there was a creator set, a little unicorn castle, and so both of these could definitely live inside of that. Then we have the Chocolatier. We had many debates on what kind of brown animal it should be. A brown swan, not so cool maybe if you want to put it in your city, but definitely a brown dragon that you can use as ornamentation on wood structures. And a wonderful little what do they call it? These chocolate
Piping bag.
piping bag, exactly. And one of this is wonderful little builds. The Bionicle Cosplayer, we always talk about doing a Bionicle figure, but the proportions are so odd compared to the actual thing, so doing a cosplayer would be a wonderful way of
We
doing
also
it.
talked many times about doing a cosplayer.
True.
But then doing that would be difficult because we can't bring IPs here, so then we brought something of our own.
And also it would just look like a knight. You wouldn't necessarily see it was a cosplay knight. Then we have the robot T-Rex, reusing the T-Rex head. And be careful because it eats batteries. So keep them close. Here we have a new clownfish mold. Lloyd. Though NINJAGO will show more details on this version of him later on. Boba costume with amazing transparent molds. The enemy witch. Yeah, I think she says it all. And the trash monster with a new fish bone element based on the original old fish, but now with less of it. And last but not least, the monster hunter, and she has a new gunblade, and she's set in a steampunk setting, and she actually has a wanted poster from the vampire from the creator set, the Haunted House. So we could go on for hours, but we have limited time. So thank you for listening.
Hi, so I cosplay a lot, so thank you so much for doing this, and I wanted to ask, how do you decide the variety of figs? How do you know what's going to go into the next series? What do you look at for inspiration?
It's a relatively long process, so we do a lot of concepting during the year leading up to the actual development. we have a lot of tried and tested categories, like sci-fi, fantasy, everyday people, sports, costumes, all of this kind of thing. And we try to populate the lineup always as broadly as possible, covering all of those different categories. And then what comes to the individual figures, that's also a combination of many things, because we want to have a nice color balance. So you might have a really cool idea for a figure, but the color that it would need to be doesn't really fit because there is already another character in that color, and these kind of things. And also, of course, like some callbacks to older stuff from us, or maybe some anniversaries like the Ninjago figure. So there's lots of different things that play a role.
This will have to be the last question,
Oh.
right, guys.
I don't want to be the evil one.
Let's keep in the middle.
First of all, it's so cool to see a Bionicle figure. I think that's something fans have been wanting to see for literally years. I have a question about the mask. Is that like a helmet piece that goes on? Does it come off like a visor? And also, is there arm printing on that, or is that just kind of what you see?
To the first question, the helmet comes off like this, and you see the back of the minifigure head, and he actually has a pink band over his eyes so that it shines through. Your second question was print or
Is there arm
printing.
printing? I just can't quite see from that.
We wanted to print everything, but we also realized in this process of simplifying it down to a minifigure arm that no matter what we did, we would have to do compromises to the original design that was so obscure that we chose simply not to.